people gang stalking with the police in the specific environment. All right, their headlights aren't engaging in the creation of dynamic shadows. And again, this is the entity that's monitoring. I'm not at the support professional building where they're flying over my head, where I'm seated on the stairs, where engineer light is present. And again, crossing path is creating light activity while a population is stalking together, and they're all stalking with light. They do the same thing while Impossible Light goes inside a Starbucks to molest my person. These are sex offenders, and they're domestic terrorists while the Ontario police is gang stalking with them. So the 3 clowns that you saw at the Open Family Community Library, they are gang stalking. They're going to prison. And so are the clowns engaging in kidnapping on May 29th. They're going to prison. So is Corporal Tedosky. He's going to federal prison. Stalking me, where you see clear targeting. I'm not at the support professional building. All right, I just walked out of Starbucks not too long ago, and I just finished uploading the podcast. Very damning commentary that the demons that were stalking me at the library in helicopter, like you heard, there's no coincidences here. There's also no coincidences in the specific environment. I've got 2 different shadows and another one back here. This is, again, hardcore direct evidence. It's not circumstantial. You don't have to do an ongoing extensive investigation as to whether the police department is actually engaged in targeting a specific person, putting the facts together and putting circumstances together and trying to figure out, who exactly. That's not what we have here. You have, I am at, what is the 523 Euclid Avenue. This is F Street. And Starbucks is at the opposite end of E Street. The entity is clearly stalking me in helicopter. And you know what the people of the state are doing. They're stalking as well. And the entity just flew over my head by helicopter. And this is unhelpful to every gang stalking officer that I documented today. The demon under the 6:28 p.m. fake sun, that's federal prison. That's a threat to my life while they're stalking you further into murder and kidnapping. Failing, however, and falsely depicting my character as being somebody that's mentally ill. That's not going to work when you're stalking me as a whole police department. But that department is subject to federal prison while I'm capturing it stalking under the 6:28 fake sun. That stayed on this street right here, Euclid Avenue. And under the 1:07 p.m. fake sun at that same library, you saw the 3 clowns gang stalking under the fake sun while they're engaging what is stalking on a ceaseless basis using helicopters. Doing so because the entity that is gang stalking, that's Ontario Police, sharing in the pattern of conduct. They're being disbanded, and you know that they're stalking me. They're engaging in this pattern of conduct while, again, the blatant disregard for the fact that they're going to federal prison. These are psychopaths that have long awaited. Let me be clear, the demonic spirit that is using them, the demonic spirit is clearly disregarding the consequences. You saw that Impossible Light? That's not from headlights. Those are demons. They're all stalking. Chevron is stalking as well, and so is Arco, the corporation. They're stalking, and so are the demons using them as a means of stalking in the path, because your headlights aren't creating that light activity that you just saw on the wall right here. That's the Ontario Police that are stalking, driving on E Street, and that was the Ontario Police that you saw fly over my head and then flew over my head again this direction. I'm not at the support professional building. I'm not at the library. I'm not at where the entity flew over my head by helicopter as well. All right, this is P.O.C. It's direct evidence. There's no mystery here. And I want to be clear, the reason why you have, because the question would be, why would you provide this level of evidence to the demise of a whole department? Why would you do that? You need to understand that this is severe mental illness. It is a public safety announcement. This is mental illness that's being unveiled. These are triggered psychopaths. As I expose them, they engage in more violence against me, which I'm going to prosecute for. But the world needs to know about the demon-possessed, which fill the state of California, and they're all over the place in the country. Because of the environment that you're aware of, you are able to be aware of their behavioral pattern where they're monitoring you. This is surveillance, and it's satanic. Okay? The Ontario Police Department is being disbanded, and they know that, and they have there's absolutely no even any hint of significance. Again, stalking with light, that's not coming all the way over here with headlights. That will be blinding when you're in traffic. That powerful light that's all the way over here across the street, they're stalking with light. Those are demons. That's what they're molesting my body with when I'm inside a Starbucks. And demons like Patty are gang stalking with Impossible Light in concert with these demons while they're running in and out of the bathroom pacing. And the entity is flying over by planes and helicopters. This is P.O.C. This is the entity that is, again, I just published the podcast, just like when I was at the library, as I'm referring to very damning evidence about gang stalking me at the Euclid and D Street U.S. Bank at 9 in the morning and also at 12:51 in the afternoon. Who surfaces the Ontario Police Department in a helicopter over my head while the fake sun is right over the top of my head. The entity is engaging in what is a documented pattern The engineer light that's appearing on this wall while they're driving in this direction and they're on the opposite side of the street engaging in the same conduct with the impossible light activity. These, again, it's very highly unintelligent. Stalking with light is the outward demonstration of mental illness, and it's also the admission of stalkers, gang stalkers, and this psychopathic population that's engaging in criminal conduct against public corruption. They are not even equipped or qualified to diagnose or speak on anybody's mental illness, while the delusional psychopaths and the violent sex offenders that they are in fact proven by evidence, as opposed to merely making up information about the target individual that they are in fact stalking. There is no circumstance and there is no situation under any circumstances that this entity is stealing my property. So I said it and I'm going to say it again. These are psychopaths that engaged in what is targeting the wrong person. I'm exposing worldwide what is domestic terrorism in the United States and what is criminal conduct, public corruption, unprecedented in California, and it's satanic. And you need to know that you are under surveillance by civilians that are in this country. And if they're gang stalking immigrants, they need to be deported. Trump needs to deport them. Okay? It is currently 10:29 p.m. This is P.O.C. That's the direct evidence disbanding the Ontario police yet again. P.O.C. Tracy Banks is going to federal prison. Tracy Banks, she's these minions. She's gang stalking her own daughter. She's going to federal prison. P.O.C.